We're going to do a much faster video. I did one already, but it was too slow. So here we go, 9.6 Bedmas. If you've seen the Haka here, if you've been lucky enough to be in the intermediate division, you've seen it before. It's awesome. So Bedmas, really quick revision. Brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. As a side note, when you're isolating the variable, you do it backwards. It's like getting dressed, getting undressed. All right, let's take a little problem here. There's two choices. There's A and there's B. Which one of these two expressions, when resolved, will be equal to -9? So is it A or B? If you think it is A, you're wrong. It's B. And the reason why is the exponent belongs to the number or whatever is to the left. And in this case right here, the exponent is belongs to the entire -3 because it's within brackets. In this one, the exponent only belongs to the 3. So what that means is this power 2 means -3 times -3. Again, everything that's within the brackets. On this side, it's just 3 times 3, which is right there, 3 times 3, and then the application of the negative at the end of it. So remember that. When you've got brackets and an exponent, everything within the brackets gets squared. Without the brackets, only the number gets squared. So try this one. First thing you're going to do is we're always doing with everything within the brackets. So before we even think about this exponent, we're going to resolve whatever's in here. We have addition and we have multiplication. So we should be doing multiplication first. A negative times a negative is positive, so that should be 3. And 3 plus -2 is 1. Over on the right-hand side, we have 5 times -2. A positive times a negative makes a negative, so this should be -10. So we have 1 squared. Well, 1 squared is just 1 because it's 1 times 1. And now we're subtracting negatives. And if you remember from the last integer lesson, if the signs are the same here, we're actually adding, and we're going to the right-hand side. So we're at 1, and we're going to 10 to the right. So 1 plus 10 equals 11. Beautiful, 11. This one, a little harder. Again, whatever is in the brackets we do first. 3 times -2, or 3 groups of -2. So you should have -6. -6. Plus -2, we can leave that for now. As our denominator, 4 times -2. And again, we ignore this exponent because brackets comes first. So 4 groups of -2, that is -8. Now, what we said on that first one back here, remember, if there's brackets, the power belongs to everything within the bracket. So if you look here at this one, we have -6 to the power of 2. That actually means -6 times -6, which is 36, and plus -2. As our denominator, we have -8 squared, and because of the brackets, it means -8 times -8. That's 64. And you're going to have 34 over 64. You can simplify. Try another one. What are the operations here? We've got multiplication, and we know that because we don't see any operation, and we've got to the power of 2. So what comes first? Is it exponents or is it multiplication? Hopefully you remember that it's exponents. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 3 to the power of 2, or 3 times 3, which is 9. Then we're going to be throwing on that -3, the multiplication times -3. -3 times 9, -27. We have multiplication because we don't see a sign. We have multiplication, we don't see a sign, and we have an exponent. Brackets, exponents, division. Yeah. So we look at exponent is first. So it's going to be 3 to the power of 2, or 3 times 3, which is 9. We rewrite the whole thing. So the first thing we do is that exponent. Now we do multiplication. And it actually doesn't matter which one we do first. You could do 2 times -2, then times 9. Or -2 times 9, then times 2. It doesn't really matter. The order is unimportant because it's all the same operation. So we're going to do 2 times -2, which is -4. And then we're going to do -4 times 9, -36. Try this one, pause, and then see if you got the right answer. All right, when you get a word problem like this, like divide the sum of -10 and 6 by -2, look for the key words. Like, obviously divide is a key word, sum is a key word, and actually by is a key word, and I'll show you why. Divide and by go together. So when I read this, it's like divide, blah, 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 by -2. So here's divide by -2. The number that comes right after the by, that's your denominator. And the divide just means put a line there, right? Everything that's in between is what's going to be on the numerator. So divide, blah, 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 that's all up here. So we're looking at the sum of, and we should know that sum is addition. So we just put an addition right there. -10 and 6. And all you got to do is just take that -10 and you put it here first because that was the first number listed. So -10 and 6. My writing is awesome. This one, multiply the sum of -10 and 6 by -2. So you're always going to look for those verbs. Here's multiply and here's by. When you're doing multiply and by, they always go together. It's like multiply blah, 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 blah by -2. You take this number right here and you put it outside the brackets because all the blah, 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 that's all in the middle here. That's like blah, blah, blah. That's this stuff right there. The multiply is everything is the number that goes outside of the brackets. The sum of -10 and 6, just like before, the sum means the addition. -10 is the first number listed, so that goes right there, and 6 is the second number, so that gets added right there. And you simplify it. Multiply the difference between -10 and 5 by -3. All right, there's that by word right there, and there's a multiply. So if I remember correctly, whenever I've got a multiply and a by, I'm going to have some brackets, and the by number goes outside. So it should be -3 times blah, 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 and that's all right there, that stuff right there. The difference, so this is a new word for us. The difference means subtract, always. And just like the other ones, we have a number -10 and 5. And so all you're going to be doing is, that's our first number, it's going to go right there, and that's our second number, and that's going to go right there. So -10 minus 5, -15, and -3 times -15 is 45. -10 taken away from -50. Now, -50 is the first number, and I know this because I see the word from. It's like saying you have 50 bucks in your wallet and take away from your 50, 10 bucks. In this case, it's -50. So -50, though, is our first number because from tells us so. So we start off with -50. Now, what does taken away mean? Taken away means subtract. And how much are we actually taking away from our -50? We're taking away -10. That was an awesome bracket. There we go. That's it, guys. Hope that was good for you. Nice and quick.